There's a new mid-range Pixel phone on the scene. I'm talking about the Google Pixel 9a. The Pixel A series phones are getting better every year, so could this be the Pixel with the most bang for your buck? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's find out in our Google Pixel 9a review. Google is offering the Pixel 9a as a less expensive alternative to the regular Pixel flagships, but it doesn't sit so far behind them feature-wise. That's especially considering the upgrades it brings over last year: a larger screen and battery, faster charging, and upgraded cameras. The Pixel 9a is missing the visor-like camera bump you see on other Pixel devices. Instead, the cameras are flush, lending to a flat, uniform design. The back is again plastic, with a matte finish, and it meets the aluminum frame at a sharp angle. The phone feels relatively light and comfy to hold. One of the differences from the flagship models has been addressed this year. The Pixel 9a has IP68 rated Ingress protection, just like the other Pixels. And the display is 6.3 inches this year, like you see on the Pixel 9. It's an OLED with a 1080p resolution and Gorilla Glass 3 protection. This is one of the brightest phone displays around. We measured 1250 nits with a manual brightness slider, which can boost to a whopping 1900 nits in auto mode when needed. That's plenty for great usability outdoors. The display's bezels are noticeably thicker than the more expensive Pixels, betraying the phone's mid-range nature, but otherwise it looks good. The screen is plenty sharp here. Swiping and scrolling are quite smooth too, thanks to the 120Hz refresh rate, and is able to dial down to a minimum of 60Hz when the screen is idling to save energy. For audio, the Pixel 9a has a pair of stereo speakers. They earned a loudness score of good in our testing, and the quality of the sound is decent, with clean mids, but nothing standing out for bass or highs. You can listen for yourself through our comparison tool, linked below. For biometric input, there's an under-display optical fingerprint reader. It's fast and reliable. And the phone can come with 128 or 256 gigs of storage on board, and that isn't expandable through microSD. The Pixel 9a comes with Android 15 pre-installed, and like on other Pixel phones, it's a clean Android experience, with a few Pixel-exclusive tweaks. What used to set the Pixels apart were their cutting-edge AI-based features, but now you can find many such things on any recent Android phone. On the Pixel 9a, Google's Gemini Assistant takes center stage for providing AI functionality, and it works just the same way on the Pixel as it does anywhere else. The Pixel Studio is something unique. It's a hub for generating custom visuals using AI. It doesn't support realistic image generation involving people, but for anything else, it's quite usable. In Google Photos, the Magic Editor provides plenty of AI-based editing tools. These allow you to erase objects from your photos or change the color of the sky. And there are AI features within the Camera app as well. With Add Me, you can add someone into a group photo after the shot was taken, or even clone the subject of a photo for an interesting effect. And Best Take allows you to swap faces or objects from one photo to another, to get a better expression, for example. There's plenty of software support for the Pixels. Google promises 7 years of timely updates for the Pixel 9a. The chipset of the Pixel 9a is the same one that you get on the flagship Pixels, a Tensor G4 made by Google itself. And just as we saw on those phones, in benchmarks, the raw performance here is quite a ways behind what you'd get from a phone running on a high-end Snapdragon chip. Still, in everyday use, the Pixel 9a feels fast and snappy. And when playing games, the experience didn't feel noticeably slower. Also, the Pixel 9a does a great job with thermal management, going through our prolonged stress test without significant throttling. It's a lot better than what we saw from the Pixel 8a or even the other Pixel 9 models. The Pixel 9a has a larger 5100 mAh battery this year, and the battery life here is improved too. Overall, the phone earned a solid active use score of 12 hours and 30 minutes in our tests. Google has upped the charging too, from 18 watts to 23. Of course, there's no charger in the box. The charging speed is better than last year, but is still on the slow side. We were able to charge the 9a from 0 to 47% in half an hour, and a full charge took an hour and 41 minutes. And there's support for wireless charging here too. And now for the cameras. There's a new 48 megapixel main camera on the back, and that's paired with the same ultrawide cam as last year. As before, the Pixel 9a lacks some of the advanced features found in the pricier Pixels. There's no Pro mode, and manual controls are more limited. Still, quality-wise, the Pixel 9a's main cam is impressive, capturing sharp details and natural, true-to-life colors. It's a reliable shooter that consistently produces good results, even in less than ideal lighting. It does a great job of portrait mode too, even though the phone insists that the portraits should always use at least a bit of digital zoom. The default presets are 1.5 times and 2 times. Skin textures and tones look natural, and background separation is nearly perfect. All zooming is handled digitally through the main sensor, and the quality holds up well. At 2 times, the results are perfectly usable. And an interesting feature is macro shooting, thanks to the main cam's close focusing distance. Just bring the phone close to your subject, and it will automatically recognize and capture it as a macro shot. The results are impressive. At night, the Pixel 9a has an automatic night mode, which it uses often. The main camera captures excellent photos, with plenty of detail and practically no noise. The colors look great too. Both shadows and highlights are handled nicely, with well-contained light sources. Honestly, we have no real complaints here. And now the ultrawide camera, which does a solid job during the day. Colors are consistent with the main cams, and there's a good amount of detail. Sharpness does fall off around the edges, and image quality dips noticeably in less than ideal lighting. At night, the ultrawide camera's photos look usable if you don't inspect them from up close. Dynamic range is quite good, but photos are so soft that they appear almost out of focus. The night sight mode helps a bit with sharpness. Here are some shots with it manually turned on. The selfie cam is 13 megapixels, but selfies come out at 12 megapixels. They're solid, with plenty of detail and great natural skin colors. While the focus is fixed, the focal depth is nice and forgiving. You can record video in 4K with all 3 cameras, but only with the main cam can you do it in 60 FPS. 4K videos from the main camera have good-looking colors and dynamic range, but they are a bit on the soft side. The ultrawide video isn't very good. Even in broad daylight, there is noticeable noise in the image, especially in the corners. You do get good image stabilization though to smooth out all of your clips, even in 4K. And in low light, the video quality from the main cam is pretty decent. So there you have it, the Google Pixel 9a. It's quite solid overall, with a bright screen, great camera quality, and plenty of software support. It also addresses the shortcomings of the previous model, with upgraded ingress protection, faster charging, and better thermals. If you're after a mid-range Pixel phone, the Pixel 9a is the best one yet. Thanks for watching, guys. Here are some alternatives on our channel, the Nothing Phone 3a Pro and the Poco F7 Pro. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.